Old Glory blowing in the breeze on a Thursday where, frankly, we got more golf in here at Merion than we had a right to believe we might, given the dire weather forecast. The wicker baskets retired for the evening, but not before they cost Lee Westwood a chance at perhaps the lead with holes to play in his round. Tiger Woods did this a lot on Thursday. Swing and then grimace. Something clearly bothering him as he did not get off to the type of start that he might have hoped. Greetings alongside Andy North. I'm Scott Van Pelt. Andy, we were told this golf course was going to be easy, and it did surrender some birdies. But on a soft day where we did have rain early, what did Merion show?
It showed that there's a lot of hard holes out here, too. There's some easy ones, but the birdies that it gave, it took away. There's some very difficult long par fours and long par threes out here.
Birdies are like dollars you put in your pockets. You're going to spend them somewhere along the way. Let's show you the highlights. Really, the story of Thursday's got to be Phil Mickelson. You know the story by now. Flew home to California to be at his daughter's junior high graduation. Flies back on the grounds about an hour and a half ahead of his round. Right out of the gates, a birdie putt, a little too much pace.
Yeah, and ends up three-putting this very first hole. That's the kind of thing that can really get to you if you're not mentally prepared to go. But he knew that he was obviously playing well, and he's going to go ahead and just fight through this. And this was really key at the short 13th, where he was able to spin a lob wedge back to about 12 feet, knock that one in, and all of a sudden everything is just fine.
Yep, he took advantage of the easiest hole on the golf course. You hear the horn, and the derecho, the storm that wound up at Chicago and worked its way east, packed a little bit of electricity and enough rain and wind and weather that everyone hunkered down for 3.5 hours, but actually gave Mickelson a chance to retire for a nap, which certainly served him well. When we came back out on the golf course, this is Charles Schwartzel. Sometimes you get lucky. This is quick. That had rolled forever. It didn't hit the stick.
Well, in playing out of this deep grass around the greens, you're just chopping it out, and some of the players understand how to hit it softer than others.
Phil Mickelson on the short par 4 first. At first, Andy, it looks like he didn't hit this enough, but he hit it with just enough pace.
The slope of the first green is so dramatic where they had that front left hole location that you had players putting it off the green there.
You're with this group. How good was this shot on 7?
Well, Phil, to get it all the way in the back with the soft greens, it takes a lot of courage to throw it all the way back. If you've carried another 3 yards, you're over the green, and you could bring bogey or double bogey into play.
He makes birdie there. He makes birdie here on 9, and in a bit you're going to hear Mickelson explain the role that his caddy, Jim Mackay, played in getting him just to hit the reset button and calm down a little bit before playing that. Phil Mickelson, you going to commute back and forth to California or what?
I don't want to push it, no. But yeah, I mean, it might be abnormal, but it actually worked out really well. I got all my work done on Merion here when I was here a week and a half ago. I knew exactly how I wanted to play the golf course, given the conditions, given different wind conditions, clubs I was going to be hitting, where I was going to be, and the shots that I was going to have. So I didn't feel I needed more time at Merion. What I needed was to get my game sharp, to get my touch sharp. And having a nice practice facility and nice weather for the last couple of days allowed me to do that. So it worked out great on both ends. I told Bones on 9 tee box that I kind of hit a wall, and he said, well, let's just take a little mental break, as we walk down there. And I ended up making the putt, so being able to tune in and tune out was kind of nice the last hole or two. It's been a long day because we teed off at 7 and here we are at 4:20. So it was a longer day with the suspension and so forth.
So coast-to-coast late-night travel, no driver in the bag, but Phil Mickelson, a 67 3-under par, the best score to par in the first round of the Open since '99. Remember, that was when Payne Stewart said you're going to be a dad. That's the child that was in the junior high graduation. He's been a runner-up 5 times here. That's more than anybody else. So good starts have led to good finishes. He's obviously hoping to cash in with the ultimate prize, which has eluded him to date. As for some of the glamour names, the glamour pairing was 1, 2, 3. And Andy, you were a busy boy. You were out with this group too. Tiger found the rough off the tee, and he ends up making bogey here. And this is when we first started noticing a little bit of an issue.
Well, I think the biggest thing is that he kind of hit a fat shot off the tee at the very first hole, setting that 3-putt up for bogey. And then here at the second hole, he had a poor second, was very displeased with it, but played a beautiful bunker shot, was able to make birdie there. And here, Adam Scott, 246 yards to the right hole location. Unbelievable shot with a long iron. Almost throws it in on the fly.
This is a mammoth par 3. How's he able to hit it to land that soft?
Because he's been lifting weights, Scotty.
He's good at golf. So is Rory McIlroy, #2 in the world, trying to find a bit of form. This was a big putt for him on 4.
I really thought that overall he hit the ball very well. Here's Tiger at the 5th from the rough again. Just taking 5-wood and chopping it out, and obviously something's definitely wrong. I don't know if it's his forearm, his elbow, whatever, but raced it through the green, and from there he struggled yet again.
Dropped another shot. A couple of indifferent chips early on, and we saw a whole lot of this wiggling of the arm and the wrist. And you and I were doing this putt on the telecast, and I'm not very smart. I said 2 putts would be good. This is an awfully fine putt.
Well, it really was, and there are times you make good putts and they go in this blind luck, but you make a good putt with the right speed, and that one had the right speed on it.
Speaking of which, McIlroy, he was making some putts here as well, finding some confidence.
He looks very comfortable on the golf course. I think he is very close to playing well.
Well, Tiger, again, the speed, and this is something you talked about a lot during the telecast. He raced that birdie putt past, which left him that for par, which he missed.
Well, 2 3-putts on the front 9, plus a couple other short putts missed.
Yet again, out of the rough. And you told us this all week long leading up. Look, if you're in the rough, this stuff is tough. It'll take a toll. Tiger elected to mark his ball. He'll have a par putt in the morning, 7:15, when we come back out to finish. Luke Donald was making a bunch of birdies. Remember last year he played in the 1-2-3 group, and he was lousy. He's real good on Thursday.
Well, his short game is so good. It really, you expect him to do well here.
Folks have been waiting for really his whole career for Luke Donald to step forward in a major, and out of that rock star pairing, he's really played well. You see, through 13 holes as he enters the true meat of this golf course, the 5-hole stretch they call tragedy. But right now, Donald will sleep on a 1-shot lead as he is clear of Mickelson. Adam Scott playing beautifully as well on 3 under par. Webb Simpson, who won a year ago, he's at 2 under. You see some of the names that are typical on the Thursday, but there's a lot of class on this leaderboard.
Well, there really is, and that's what you expect at the U.S. Open. You're always going to have a name or two that will be there for Thursday or Friday, but as the week goes on, the leaderboard usually gets more solid. And I'll tell you what, it's a golf course you can make some birdies. We saw the soft conditions. Guys are able to spin the ball back and get the ball close to hole locations they couldn't normally do, but also there's so many difficult holes.
And you see Lee Westwood down there at 1 under. He was 3 under, was playing an incredibly clean round, not a bogey on the card. Really unlucky here. If it sticks in the wicker basket, you get to drop it right at the hole. Instead, it hammers off that thing, rolls all the way back down the hill. Westwood makes double. Sometimes you get unlucky.
Unfortunately, that's a stupid game we play.
This is the lot in life we've chosen, huh, Andy? Yeah, sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. But Westwood had been playing well on a Thursday that saw a little bit of everything. Some rain and wind and weather. Mickelson from West Coast all the way back east and sets a blistering early pace. But we got to come out early. 7 Eastern, our coverage begins with round 1 to resume 7:15 Eastern.